Hey y'all, so last time we spoke, I had called my aunt and left her a voicemail, two voicemails actually, and I was awaiting her call. And just to walk you through the week that I've had, I wasn't very emotional on the video or anything like that, but waiting and waiting, I feel like if I wasn't going to get a call back in a couple of days, then I was never going to get a call back. So first day went by, I was fine. Second day went by, I was fine. Third day went by, no call still. Fourth day, I started feeling like if you don't check your voicemail that often, you would at least check it in 4 days, or you would get some type of reaction. And then a flood of emotions kind of happened, and I started to get in the mindset of if they actually wanted to find me, then they would have tried, or they would have at least returned that voicemail. So I kind of went through the week kind of through a plethora of emotions, and I decided to go back to drawing, which is something I did when I was little, with my father, my brother, and stuff like that. So I've been doing that just to kind of get my mind off of it. And today while I was at work, so this is what, about a week and 3 days, so about 10 days after I left that voicemail. And I was at work and in a meeting about 4 o'clock today, Monday, February 26th. And I'm going to play you all. I got a phone call. 3 actual phone calls while I was in a meeting, and they all were from Pontiac, Michigan, which is where my birth family was residing. And so I'm going to play you all at least a piece of the message.
Yes, this is Caroline Thomas, and could you please give me a call back at this number? Have a blessed day. Call me anytime. I'll answer.
So I got that voicemail, and that was the original, the birth aunt that I had. And so that wasn't actually the first message I listened to, because there were 3 messages that were left. And so this is another one.
Hi, this is Audrey Thomas calling in regards to Tevon. You had called my sister Caroline. Please call me ASAP so as you get this message at 248.
The first lady was the aunt, and the second lady was her sister, which that would be my birth mom. So immediately when I listened to that, my kind of heart dropped. And if I'm being honest, I didn't come into this looking for my birth mother. I wanted to find my brothers and have established some type of relationship with them. Also, what I didn't share with you all is that I found my... So in the letter it had read that I had 3 other brothers. So Ronnie, Antoine, and D'Angelo. And so I had found out when I had talked to my birth first cousin that Rodney and Antoine had passed away and that D'Angelo was in jail. So after doing my little searches, I had actually found him on the Otis website. And if you live in Michigan, you know what Otis is if you have a family member that's in jail. So I'm going to actually show you all a picture of him if you can see it. Focus the camera a little bit. So this would be my birth brother. And so a lot of the things on it, because you know it actually notes the marks and the scars and the tattoos on him. And he has a couple of ratchet tattoos, but then on his right arm it says Audrey, which is my birth mother's name. So I have his information, and so when I was talking to a couple of my friends, they always told me they were telling me to write him and stuff like that. But honestly, I was I felt down that the fact that I have 2 dead brothers, and Like, he's in jail, so the people that I wanted to meet, I can't even meet. But moving back to today, I didn't want to call her back. And then it kind of sounded like she was like scared or nervous about something. And it was different that they called me back to back from different numbers and 2 different people. So I was actually kind of annoyed that she shared my number with her because I called asking for her. But she sounded a little bit more together on the voicemail. So I decided to call the aunt back. And honestly, I was nervous. And when she answered, one of the first things that I told her is that I was nervous, but she was like very excited. And honestly, my emotions were like normal, like, hi, how are you? How have you been doing in general? How's your day? Like, very plain Jane, no emotions. Because I honestly didn't know how to feel. Like, she was like, oh, I'm your aunt, Caroline. And then she asked me how I got her number, and I explained to her that how I found Audrey's Facebook. And when I said that, when like I found Audrey on Facebook, she said, Audrey, oh, your mother, that's your mother. Your mother, Audrey. And I didn't really say anything because I was, you know, that's not really my mother. That's the lady that birthed me. And she explained that they work together and they both were at work right now. And so she asked me, did I want to speak to her? And honestly, I didn't really want to say no because I felt like that would have been mean. Because she's like, you know, she was excited. She grabbed my phone and she was right next to me when we listened to the voicemail. And that's why she was calling you, because she was so excited and stuff like that. And so I told her, like, honestly, I'm a bit nervous because I just am. She was like, don't be nervous. I'm going to go find her right now. And literally on the phone, you can hear her running to her and calling her name out. And Audrey was like, Audrey, where's Audrey? D. And, you know, nervous. I was actually kind of hoping that she couldn't find her because I really didn't want to talk to her. And she found her, obviously. And she got on the phone and we just kind of talked. And in the midst of us talking, she started crying initially. And she told me to not mind her because she was crying for joy. That she was happy. And honestly, I was still on the phone, like, with no emotion, still trying to process that I've been looking for this lady and thinking about this lady my whole life. And she's finally on the other side of the phone. And when she started crying and she was telling me that I didn't just have 3 brothers, I had 4. So it was 5 of us in total. And the missing brother name was Carlos, which I technically was the missing brother, but the one that I was missing from the report was Carlos. And he had died when he was 18 months old through meningitis, or some type of virus closely related to that spread through the mouth. And she kind of explained that, you know, she was like proud of who I am. Because I was telling her, like, oh, I live in Houston now. I have a degree in such and such, and I work at such and such. And I honestly, I thought I was going to get on the phone and I thought I was going to hate her. I honestly thought I was going to hate her and not want to talk to her, not want to even listen to what she had to say, which is what I was feeling initially. But then it really sounded like this lady made some regretful life decisions, and I couldn't, like, hate her in that moment. She also told me that, well, when I was telling her what I got a degree in, which is education, and I got a master's degree, she was like, oh, you're book smart. Or she'd say, oh, you're smart like me. And I think it kind of hit her, like, well, at least a part of me, like the book smart part, which was kind of different. But she didn't kind of like force anything on me. She asked about my adopted parents, and she said that she was also looking for me on Facebook. And I explained that, like, I found her Facebook, it was inactive. I sent her a friend request, nothing had happened from it. Then I found out she has another Facebook. So that's the reason why, because she has two Facebooks. I also, we didn't honestly talk that long, but she was at work, so she made me promise her that I would call her today at 9 o'clock, which is now, actually. But I'm a little nervous about what we're going to talk about, because I feel like it's going to get deep because she's not at work. But I will update you guys when we're done. So I just got off the phone with her, my birth mother, and honestly, I don't know how to feel, but it's weird because it wasn't, honestly, like I said, every time I've taken a step farther, I get thrown a step back, a couple steps, at least emotionally. And she is pretty much just like me as far as thinking and mannerisms. She loves school. She prides herself on not lying. So all the questions that I've had for her, she's answered truthfully, which is something that I would do. She has been through tons from what she was telling me. And how she reflected on it is how I reflect on the trials and tribulations that I've gone through. She remembered the last time she seen me, which was the last time I seen her, which is the only time that I remember seeing her, which was at a Wendy's. She remembered that I cried because they didn't have barbecue sauce. She also remembered that she gave me a red remote control car and that I played with my brother D'Angelo. And she said that he's always asked about me, and she's going to give him my number for him to call me. And it's really weird. Like, I'm honestly kind of happy. And yeah, I don't really know what to say. I found her correct Facebook. And I don't hate her. That is probably the biggest thing. Is I thought I was going to hate her. And I don't think I hate her. I don't know if I spent a whole bunch of time resenting her. And she isn't backing down from any of her faults. And she also explained the day she had me and the accident, which it makes way more sense now as well too, and how that happened. And I think I know she was really happy to hear from me. She said she had been looking for me on Facebook since Facebook came out in 2005. But she thought my last name was Miller. She remembered my name was Chris. Because she said my mom and dad asked her could they change it. And she said yes. So she remembered my name was Chris. But she thought my last name was Miller, which is one of the reasons why she couldn't find me. But even if she would have knew it was Banks, my last name now is Allen. So it would have been hard for her to find me. And so it feels good that they were looking for me even longer than I was looking for them. And she asked me what my name was now, and I told her. But every time I would be on the phone, she would call me Tevin. Every time she would want to say Chris, she would say Tevin by mistake. Um, but that is, I don't know. I'm probably gonna call her again tomorrow. I honestly like hearing from her just because we sound very similar. But maybe you all would see the first time I meet her down the line. But yeah, so I'm gonna upload this and comment, like, and subscribe.